Hi, I am Alexa, and you are watching and listening to the Wishbeads podcast. And I hope that you are enjoying the fall. I am super excited because we are featuring my mother, Billie Fischer, as this month's special guest. And, you probably know Billie from her one-of-a-kind collection called Bling by Billie, which is something we feature every month. But I've also been sharing her story because I'm personally inspired by the fact that she has reinvented herself, much like myself, and various chapters of her life. And I think that especially as she is nearing her 8th decade, the journey that she has gone through in the last 5 years is enormously inspiring. So here we are catching her just a little bit further down the line, where her evolution into her artistry is evolving and expanding. And I hope that her story will inspire you to get very creative in your own life. So we're taking you inside her studio, and you can hear her story herself from herself.
Yes.
Welcome to the Wishbeads podcast.
Why, thank you.
This is not your first time.
No, but I'm delighted to have, been asked back.
Well, of course. So, we've got laps full of dogs here, as you can see.
Yeah,
That's part of the fun.
Lola.
And can you just give us a little update? Where are we right now?
Well, right now we're in my studio, which is also my gym.
We'll give you a little tour later.
So yeah, we have a lot of action in here. There's a little story actually, speaking about this room. I many years ago was in a wish circle with my daughter, and you always, if you've experienced her wish circles, you have a visualization. And I had just started art classes on Zoom, and so I was creating art every week, and I was taking a lot of classes, so there was a lot of art. So I told my husband that I needed to have a new house because I had absolutely no room.
Because like either go big or go home.
Yeah, right. So I had no room. I was just like, it was too small. So then I had this visualization, and I saw my studio, and I saw, oh my goodness, this is my ideal situation. And then that was the visualization. And then miraculously, my husband, who had their very large, beautiful, big office for himself, decided that probably cheaper if we just switch offices. And it turned out now I was so thrilled. This is where I hang out all the time, all day long, in this beautiful big room that I now have converted into my studio. And it comes complete with a bathroom and a closet. So there's a storeroom. So it's actually just my dream come true. Now I'm very happy here.
I think about that, Mom, is that I think so often that when we think about what we want, we make some sort of big, I wouldn't call it an obstacle, but we kind of make an assumption like, I need a studio, I need a new house, or I want to do something different with my life, so I need a new job, or I want to have
Right.
a feeling of new relationships, so I have to get divorced, or these big grandiose things.
Right.
But I think there is some magic to, I bet what I want, I already have. I just have to
Yeah.
reimagine it a little bit.
Absolutely. That's exactly what happened in this situation here. Because all of a sudden, like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I'm extremely happy right where I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about, okay, so now you've taken over the room, you've got your art literally everywhere, and we're going to do a little tour
Yeah.
later on. And I want to sort of hear how you're sort of growing this version of yourself. Where did you start, and where do you see yourself expanding? Like what has this journey led you on in terms of your own personal development?
Well, I don't know how far back you want me to go.
No, no, no. From the point where you just said, I'm taking art classes.
Okay.
I have art everywhere, but like, where is it going now? Because I think
Okay.
if it wasn't for the pandemic, you wouldn't have started art classes.
Correct. It's which I'm a believer in the universe leads you to new adventures. And certainly I call myself the pandemic pupil because I really had never taken an art class before. And when I found out I could do it on Zoom, oh, that was great. I could do collage. And then I went into abstract. And then I started taking drawing and watercolor. So I was just opening up whole new avenues to myself.
Hmm.
And it was absolute fun. I mean, I always think people who talk about retiring like, oh, what am I going to do? How sad will it be? Not for me. No, retirement was a, a grand opening of doors for me. And I
I
really
like that.
I really embraced so many new things, and especially because in the pandemic you were sort of having to be creative by yourself because there you were by yourself. Can I tell the story about you?
I don't know which one.
The one, the one that March in 2020 when you came over to my house and said, "Mom, you're going to be quarantined, and I'm going to bring you food, but you and Dad have to stay home.
Yeah,
You
it was
just
a
have to
hard
stay home,
liner. Yeah.
not go out for 2 weeks. You're going to just stay home, and I'll bring you food." Because she thought 2 weeks would probably wrap it up.
Yeah, good 2 weeks.
So anyway, and it was tough at the beginning, but because of the Zoom classes and the art classes, it made it all totally bearable. And then from there, of course, luckily, we got through the pandemic and things started to get back to normal. But like you talk about expanding your life, um, yeah, that's what happened to me. I mean, I decided other things I could do, like I took up knitting. You gave me a career in Bling by Billie.
Yes. So, of course, I think it goes without saying, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but Mom is the Billie of Bling by Billie, a collection of one of a kind Wishbeads bracelets that are created every month. We drop between 12 and 15 styles per month. They have different themes sometimes, depending on what beads we get inspired by or
Right.
we have on hand.
And we
Um,
name them.
and we name them and package them and sew them and create them. And it's super fun.
Yeah.
But your knitting is literally prolific. You're a prolific knitter and a creator. And so here you are. You're literally have got so much artwork everywhere. That's so awesome. And now what? Now what?
Well,
what's
so
in
then
store?
what happened? What happened is along the way there became an opportunity for my dear son-in-law Robert, your husband, and I could do an art show. It was a local street fair kind of thing, but so that what gave me courage to go and actually display my art and and actually sell some, which was kind of fun. And then now, uh, through this community of these Zoom classes, I'm looking forward to in October 25th, there will be at Wish Club,
Yep.
a curated by my teacher who lives in New Jersey is coming into town. And the 10 students that of hers over the Zoom all these years now are putting together an art show, and that's going to be extremely fun because they're all my pals in Zoom class that I have become very friendly with. So yes, now I'm looking for it now. Okay, can I tell my next visualization?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so now again, I had well, I went to a Wish Circle Women's Weekend.
Oh, Women's Wish Weekend.
Oh, Women's Wish Weekend. And so then I had this another visualization, and I'm trying to step into it right now. Um, because Alexa is such a good friend and she's such a sweet fan of me that she has these visualizations of herself, of her visions, that I have more to tell in my story. And one thing in my story, I hope I won't sound too obnoxiously self-centered, but one thing I have a passion for is fashion. And I mean, truly a passion for. Well, actually, I was in retail and I had my own stores, but they were maternity stores. So that didn't really happen. That was great when I was having babies, but after that, it was like, that's not so good. But okay, fashion was my jam. So as throughout my life, I have really loved to collect different, you know, collections of clothing that, and shoes and bags and accessories and jewelry, and it was just my fun. Now Alexa likes to say that um that my body is my palette, which is cute because it goes along with the art too. And so the next step that I'm trying to envision, well, her vision, and now I'm trying to embrace it, is that I can become a Granfluencer. Wow, that's a big step from being a little, pandemic pupil. But why not? Why not? I'm having such a good time. I will be 80 next year, and I feel great. I work out. I do my Peloton here in my studio. You know, I tend to be around for a long time. So,
Well, let me back up a little bit. So we live in Santa Monica, and every time we go out to lunch or go shopping or walk, and literally going anywhere, grocery shop, it doesn't matter. Someone will stop you and compliment your outfit. And I know it's not like your fancy outfit. It could be any outfit that you put together, whether it's like crazy Crocs with, little doodads attached to the front, or just the t-shirt that you pair with your bag. It doesn't matter. Everybody stops you. And so for me, the reason I encourage you the way that I do is that a few reasons. One, I think you have to pay attention to where energy and attention is flowing naturally. Naturally, you love fashion, and I've always known this about you, but naturally, people are drawn to it. Even when you're not trying, and I think sometimes when something comes so easily to individuals, maybe you listening and watching or whatever,
yeah,
you take it for granted a little bit. You just think, well, that's just the way it is. But there's energy there. There's like a gift or a treasure that's there that people acknowledge and respond to. And if it happens to be something that you genuinely love, that's the true nature of influencing.
right.
And for me, it's not even so much about that you're giving fashion tips or fashion advice.
No, don't want to. No.
Yeah, but to me, I think that especially when I see what feels like an epidemic of young people completely panicked about themselves, about the world, they're stressed, we're the anxious generation. When you start to look at someone who is almost 80, who is vibrant, creative, healthy, fun, fashionable with it, it's inspiring. It is inspiring. That's why I think people would want to know more about you and your work and all of that.
I don't know where this will go.
Yeah.
But I will say, can I tell this? I'm getting ready for this show, this
Art show.
and I'm at the photographer camera place, and I'm giving my pieces over because I'm trying to make prints. And this man came up to me and said, "Oh, I like your work. I'd like to buy that. I would." And I'm like, oh my, I don't have any way to make that happen. So
Yet.
then, and then he told me I inspired him by this certain artist, and it turns out he's a well-known photographer himself. And so, because I looked him up. So anyway, I came back and I said, Alexa, I need a website because I have no way to really, he would like that work. I can't give him that work because I'm filming it for the show. So
Right.
I should really like, okay, that's a sign from the universe because I listen to the universe a lot. That's a sign that now it's time for me to step into this new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what difference does it make where it goes? It's just one more step to challenge yourself, to grow a little bit, to get out there in the world and share your life,
Right.
which is kind of like, I feel like as we grow older, we can step into these new challenges more easily
Yeah.
because hopefully you've gained confidence throughout the years.
And I'm just curious, how have your friends, your peers, how have people responded to these new chapters of your evolution?
Hmm. I I'm I don't really know what they. I tell you the truth, I really don't know how they respond.
Yeah.
I have friends that have gone on this journey with me, and again are doing the same thing. They're going into art because now they have time. They've retired. They have time to do this. So that's been great fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, that's
Yeah.
how.
The reason why I bring it up is I do think that, and I certainly know that this is one of the reasons why I'm starting Wish Club, is that I do think it's important that you surround yourself with people that cheer you on. I mean, some will
Well,
join
that's
you,
true.
but I think that there is something that just cheering you on, just giving you that supportive nudge.
That was what was so beautiful about the Wish weekend, Women's Weekend,
Mm,
that there was so much support, and I love the Wish Club idea because I do think more than ever we need community,
yeah.
and I so appreciate that opportunity. But like talk about new adventures. You came up with the idea, and boy, did we run with this one. Let's play mahjong. Well,
Yes, we're now all mahjong obsessed.
so we got a teacher. Now we all are taking mahjong classes, and
Yeah.
Alexa's going to have Monday mahjong
Maj Mondays.
Maj Mondays. But in addition, I found a few senior ladies that said they'd like to have lessons too. So I have at my house we have mahjong Fridays or whenever.
Yeah.
But new challenges, new
Yeah.
ideas. I mean, if you haven't tried mahjong, it's really really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is an intensity that I think we have in our society of doing everything all the time. And if God forbid, we have a quiet moment, we usually fill it with some digital distraction device. And
True.
I think that when you are creative, when you are working with your hands, when you're in community, you're having fun, you're getting together, life is just better.
It really is.
It's like your problems, just park it at the door. You can pick them up at the door on the way out if you want to, or you can just leave them there. And it's that kind of plugging back into your heart-centered space that just gives you the energy to keep going, keep being positive, making an impact in the world, doing whatever you're doing, living your life, but having a lot more fun.
Giggling with gratitude.
Giggle with gratitude, people.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a very important part of the formula. So, what do you see? Can we be audacious here and for you to share a little bit of some of what your bigger wishes are? I mean, I know you don't know where it's headed, but what's something that makes you nervous and excited at the same time? Like a big wish of yours that's,
yeah, that's a very good question. I truthfully, my hesitancy is that I don't want to appear like I'm special or something, but I also think that I do have a little bit of a story to tell in that I find the last 5 years has been really a growth period for me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it. It just happened. But now that it has, I'd like to share that with
Yeah.
other people. And I just have to get brave enough to do it.
Well, you're doing it. You don't even have to get brave
I'm
enough.
here.
You're already doing it.
I'm here. So
So
that's good.
a new website is in the works.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to give you at the show notes all of the places to find you on Instagram and on your new website. You have an art show with your amazing pals and fellow artists on October 25th at Wish Club in Santa Monica. And we are also doing a makers market on Sunday, November, I believe it's 9th. I think the 9th is a Sunday. And you'll be selling some of your things there. And I'm excited because you're also, if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, you're going to see us walk through a little tour of your studio and show some of your artwork.
Great. That'd be fun. I like it.
And I do think that it is interesting when once all those pieces are in place, for you to look at what you've created and start, well, you can start now already thinking about like, what publications do I want to be featured on? How many followers do I want to have? How many pieces do I want to sell? Do I want to lead a workshop? Oh, right. We're leading Build Your Own Bling workshops at Wish Club as well in the month of October and beyond, probably. Check the calendar. But start really thinking about like what would seem epically fun and awesome, like full of awe for you. Because the difference between starting like being an artist and you're 30 and you've got, a career that you want to make, you're in a different chapter because you're almost 80. So yes, you want to do things, but it's not the same pressure of like someone picking their career in front of them. But like, what cool things would you love to see happen? You don't have to necessarily answer now, though that would be fun. But like, do you want to appear at a certain gallery or be in a magazine or?
Sure, I'd like to be in a magazine.
And what magazine? Like if you could pick one magazine, what would that look like?
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah.
Vogue.
Vogue. We said it right now. Mom wants to be in Vogue. Billy wants to be in Vogue. Now, this is great. And I want to highlight this because I believe wishes are more powerful when they're specific.
Wow. Okay.
So if you...
I'm glad I didn't say popular mechanic.
Right. But if you just say, I want to be in a magazine, there's a lot of magazines. There's so many different magazines. Even if they're digital, they're still magazines, right? But I love the idea of Vogue because then you can start. I know you know Vogue very well, but is there a section that makes sense for you? Is there like, I don't know, there just feels like there could be an angle that you can get very, very specific on as you are manifesting that. Dare I say, I could see you making like a piece of art in and around Vogue that like has your wish somehow baked into it.
Wow, that would be like we would be doing that in sync with each other with wishing.
Yeah, but I think that wish beads, the idea of wearing wish beads, creating things that have your wishes on them, are to have a physical talisman of what you desire.
So it's like a collaboration.
Yeah, not even. It doesn't have to involve me. I mean, like on the art piece, having your wish or what you would imagine the feel of your feature in Vogue, what would that look like? And so it's kind of more of a version of a vision board, but with your art that names like...
See, I told you she has great
Can't help
visions
myself.
for me.
Myself.
She is always...
No, that's your vision. It's not my vision. You want to be in Vogue.
That's true.
Why not?
Why not?
And a lot of your pieces, as you'll see when we do a walkthrough, like they have a fashion element to it. So it's quite perfect.
They have a fashion element to it. And sometimes they get a little too sassy.
Very sassy. Very sassy.
But
anyway, we're going to percolate on that.
Yeah, I kind of like art that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, like brings an emotion out in you. So some of that is... I find that in my pieces, but yeah, why not? I might as well.
Why not?
I might as well. I'll work the angle.
Well, let's work the angle.
I'll ruminate on this one.
All right. So if you are watching this on YouTube, and if you're not, I hope you do, we're going to go through now some backstage, peek at what Mom is working on in her studio and how she works. And yeah, cool.
Yeah, I do a lot of collage and abstract art, and that's mainly what I like to do. Collage. I do collage a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Well, I thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for hearing the story. I really believe that, and I talk about your story a lot, and I'm so grateful that you like to participate in all the wish things that I'm up to, because I think it is so important for people to see an example of somebody at this chapter of your life having so much fun and challenging yourself and reinventing yourself, and that is inspiring. That's what I would like to be influenced by, and and it's very energizing.
Why, thank you.
Keep up the good work.
You're the best.
You're the best.
Oh, no.
All right, let's do our little tour.
Okay. Hi, I'm Billie Fischer, and I'm here to show you around my art studio. I'm a pandemic pupil, so this all began in 2020, and I've been really cranking it out since then. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you is this one. I love collage. So this is actually an ode to Topo Chico water, because that's part of it. But I love to collect feathers, so there's a feather in there. The frame, actually both frames came from Salvation Army. Can you imagine? So anyway, we're just moving along here. This is just Champions Adjust. We have to get that put together. Here's something I did when the Ukraine war started, and I gave a little message there. But as we said, we kind of like to do things. I like to do things that are kind of edgy. So I'd like to show you this one. This is kind of new for me. A little collage, little racy, a little living on the edge there. But wonder what he's thinking, huh? Okay. Then we had this. I took an old palette and used it as my canvas with different elements that are all, texture and kind of fun. I like the kitty. I don't see the kitty. But again, fashion, a little racy, all good. Okay, now let's see what else we can show you. Oh, here's one that I'm going to do in my show in October. This one's called Something Fishy. If you look closely, there's a fish in there. There's a butterfly. But since my name's Billie Fischer, of course, I had to call it Something Fishy. Here's something that's made out of just found materials, household items. It's kind of sculpture-esque. And let's see what else I can show you. Oh, here's one that I made not too long ago. I call her Hey Mary Jane. Get it? But she's fun. Okay. Let's see, what else can I show you? Let me see. Oh, here's one of my favorites. This one is called, I gotta re-glue here. This one's called Crazy. So the puppy is saying to himself, crazy, because look at her. What is she up to? So let's see what else I can show you. Over here, over here, I have one of my more fashion forward pieces. I like this one a lot. It has a little feather and some jewels. Then, let's see. Oh, here's one I just did. Isn't she crazy? Actually, this was a painting I did, and then I used it as a backdrop for a collage. So again, a little bit of a fashion with an edge. A little schizoid, actually. Okay. And here's one with a message. Stop worrying. Shine. Yeah. Good idea. Do you hear my little puppy? She wants to talk. She wants to just get right in the action. Now I'd like to show you a print that sometimes I take. Oh, I love this collage too. This I know you like, Alexa. She's so edgy. She just really is kind of funny. But I like her. And then this one is a print, and it's going to be in my upcoming show. Pretty interesting. But again, a lot of times that has a girl or feminine items. This I should probably take out of this. Here's one. Oh. Here's one that was admired by a photographer that I was in the camera store, so I thought I'd share this one with you. So they're just too many to even, As I grew up, I was a dancer and studied ballet. So, of course, this was kind of near and dear to my heart because it involved my former dancing career and my now art. So, just fun. This one's, oh dear. Whoops. I'm going to fix that. Here's one that's kind of sweet. Oh my goodness, you have to see your puppy. Your puppy is sitting there like a movie star. Okay.
Amazing. Well, thank you for listening and watching. And if you enjoy this podcast, please do me a solid and write a review or share it with a friend. And if you would like to know more about Billie and her work, there are links so you can find out more about her website and her Instagram. Give her a follow. Check out her artwork. She is also hosting some sessions inside of Wish Club in our studio in Santa Monica, where you can build your very own bling and do the guided visualization, as well as checking out her art show October 25th, 2025. And she's going to be participating in our Makers Fair, which is happening in early November. So thank you, stay awesome, keep wishing, get creative, and just know that it is never too late to make your wishes come true. I'll see you next time.